What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. Season 3, Episode 25, Hit the Books, podcast all about sports betting, the bets you should be taking, and everything surrounding sports. This week, we have a special guest joining us, friend of the show, plus a little bit on the Stadium Series games this weekend and a recap of the Super Bowl, plus some power rankings in some other leagues as we wrap up the NFL season here. Let's jump right in and introduce my co-hosts here with me this week, Huff and Mackie. Mackie, let's start off with you this week. What do you got, buddy? Another week here leading up to March Madness after the Super Bowl. What do you got?
Yeah, so football's over, so all the way out from here, we're going college basketball. Good Super Bowl. I enjoyed it. I won money off of it. Not like the rest of my NFL season. I caked off the Super Bowl, so that was nice. But other than that, just getting into college basketball, trying to get back in the swing of things. Had a pretty rough week last week, but positive units this week already. So looking to keep it going.
Good stuff. I like to hear it. Winning some money on the bowl. Good stuff there. Huff, finish it off here. What do you got for us before we jump into this week?
Yeah, same thing. Had a pretty good week. Great Super Bowl. An all-time matchup. I mean, if you just think back on recent Super Bowls, that's now 3 straight Super Bowls that we've had be determined by 3 points or less. 3 to be exact in the last 3, when the Rams won by 3, the Chiefs won by 3 last year, and then the Chiefs won by 3 this year. So, I mean, you can't ask for much more competitive games in the big game, in the primetime slot when everyone's watching in the Super Bowl. We got what we were hoping for. Overtime, that game just absolutely lived up to all the expectations. And I really just think I've just been laughing at all the 49ers players coming out and saying they didn't know the rules, but we'll get into that when we talk about the NFL segment. But great Super Bowl. Like Mackie said, I had the Chiefs as well. That was Mahomes in the Super Bowl as an underdog 3 weeks in a row. You already said they're starting a dynasty, and the Chiefs are back-to-back champs.
Mahomes was an underdog? What?
Do you think that'll be the last time he'll ever be an underdog in a Super Bowl?
No, because you got to think scenarios.
They'll play some other team that's like this, the Eagles or the Niners of this year, and they'll do the same thing. A 2-point favorite.
They should have been dogs. They were not the better team, but
no, yeah,
you got
absolutely.
Mahomes, man. Like, there's going to be more scenarios where they're not going to be the better team, and they're still going to end up winning the Super Bowl because Pat Mahomes.
Yeah,
but
yep.
I mean, it's crazy, man. I can't believe how many fucking everyone thought. I mean, I guess there was a shit ton of money on the Chiefs, but everyone that I was talking to was like, "Nah, smart money's with the Niners." I'm like, dude,
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
There's certain people that when you bet against them, you can lose twice. Like Tom Brady back in the day, Saban, Belichick. Like there's those guys that if you bet against them and you lose, you tell yourself like, why the fuck did I bet against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl?
Exactly. It's like right after you're done, it's like that was so simple. Like, why the fuck did I fade?
Literally, exactly.
That's what I was thinking.
And it's not like the Chiefs. It's not like the Chiefs were winning the whole game. They were down 10 for the second straight Super Bowl and then win the game by 3.
Oh, I wasn't confident at once during that game.
That's what I mean. That was a crazy competitive game. It was back and forth. It was defense in the first half. The offense is picked up in the second half. Once the Chiefs got that fumble off the punt, I knew that was the spark they needed.
Yeah, I mean the bounces are definitely going their way. Do you think that Dre Greenlaw going down was the difference maker, or do you think the Chiefs still would have won?
I still think the Chiefs would have won. I just think that he will find a way anytime he needs to.
I mean,
did you hear what kind of what I said about we can kind of just jump right into the Super Bowl, but Jesse, you just want to introduce the score. Let's just jump right into it, then I'll get into
it. Yeah, just a couple notes here. Super Bowl 58 concluded with the Chiefs taking down the Niners 25-22 in overtime. First time the new postseason rules were used. Reba went over on the anthem. Heads was the result of the coin toss, and purple was the Gatorade color and the winning coach. That's all I really got here from the Super Bowl. Go ahead and keep ripping, boys.
I find it hilarious.
Go ahead.
I find it hilarious how I mean, I guess it didn't really matter because they didn't score a touchdown, but the first year that they changed the rules, the Super Bowl goes to overtime. But I mean,
they would
have kicked the field goal and they still would have gotten the ball back. But it's just weird.
Did you hear what they were all saying after the game? So obviously I kind of alluded to it that a lot of the 49ers players were saying that, we didn't even know the rules changed. You heard Juszczyk say like, we just kind of wanted the ball. We wanted to go right down, score a touchdown and win the Super Bowl. And everyone was like, well, maybe you should read the rule book because that's not how the rules are in the playoffs. And then Eric Armstead said the same thing. He was like, we just needed to get a touchdown and win the game. And then the reporter was like, you guys do know the rules are different in the Super Bowl, like, or in the playoffs. And they all were like, yeah, we didn't really know about that. Someone asked Kyle Shanahan about it, and I forget what he said. And then they're asking all the Chiefs, and the Chiefs, Chris Jones literally goes, oh, yeah, we talked about in meetings all week. If this game goes
Yeah,
to
apparently
overtime and the Niners score first, we're going to go for 2 and either win or lose the Super Bowl on a 2-point conversion.
Chris Jones said that. I saw that. I don't care who you want to blame. You have to, as an NFL football player playing in the Super Bowl, know the fucking rules. I don't care who you want to blame. Yeah, you can blame Kyle Shanahan. It is kind of Kyle Shanahan's fault. It is like you guys are all grown ass men playing in. You're all paid millions of dollars each year to play this sport. Know the damn rules of the game. It doesn't matter. You're accountable for your own self. You need to know the rules going into that. And if not one person said it during the game. Like not one person when Kyle Shanahan was like, "Let's take the ball," was like, "Wait, do you know about the new rules?" Like at least said something about it. Like I don't know if this is an excuse or not because it just sounds so stupid. How like this all could have just went like untalked about.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
They shouldn't have even said they didn't know the
I
rules.
feel like it's fake. I feel like it's not true because there's no way that entire time nobody was like, "Hey, the new rules. This is so crazy." Like, or like, Kyle Shanahan, do you know what you're doing here? Like, do you know the new rules?
I also saw something that said the analytics said that they made the right move or receiving the ball. And then everyone was like, yeah, the analytics don't know that fucking Patrick Mahomes is on the other sideline and is going to get a touchdown if you only get 3 points.
But here's the thing in that situation. You kick the ball off, Pat Mahomes goes down and scores a touchdown. You want to give Brock Purdy the football to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl?
I don't.
I honestly think they made the right move.
Me too. Like in that
Like,
situation,
no
I think you want the ball first.
You're playing Pat Mahomes. He's getting the football no matter what happens. You might as well give it to him second where there's a little more pressure. Whereas like if Brock Purdy has to do the same thing in that same situation, he's not going to get it done. So
Here's what I was thinking of. Do you think if you're Kyle Shanahan in that spot, you get the ball to start, you receive to start overtime, like, you know, you don't know any of this stuff's going to happen. You don't know the result of the game. It's a tie game. You're in overtime. You get the ball. You score a touchdown. You know the Chiefs are getting the ball back. You know it's Patrick Mahomes. Is there any chance in hell if you scored a touchdown in overtime of the Super Bowl on the first possession, you would go for 2 to go up 8?
No, because
I heard so many people debating that today, and I was like sitting there. I'm like, I see both sides of it. But if you lose the Super Bowl on an extra point, I couldn't live with that.
That would just be terrible. First of all, I think even Kyle Shanahan would lose his job if he did that and it didn't work out. But in the other sense, you have the 49ers defense is top 3 in the NFL. If you can't count on them to at least either get a stop or let them get in the end zone and then get a stop on a 2-point conversion.
On the 2-point conversion, yeah.
I mean, you gotta take your losses at that point. Like that's a top 3 defense in the league. You gotta trust them to get at least one stop. I know you're playing against the best quarterback in the world, but I mean, you what are you gonna do? Go for 2, and if you don't get it, it's game over. It's cake.
Because dude, then I was thinking if the Chiefs, like how the Chiefs said they were gonna go for 2, if the Niners scored first, you know what I mean, win or lose the game by 1 point. I was like, that was the spread that Vegas was implying. Like the Chiefs were going to need to do the Chiefs were going to need to do something late, and it's going to be a go for 2, and they either win or lose this game by 1 point.
I bet you that they wouldn't have got it if that was the whole situation either.
Literally, yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm like, if they would have had to go for 2, they would have not gotten it, and they would have lost by 1.
Gotten it, and that would have been insane. But
yeah, but that was definitely an all-time Super Bowl. Past 5 years, I think that was the best Super Bowl that we've seen.
I mean, I don't want to say that because the first half was very boring, but the second half was. I agree, but
I like that. I'll take any game like that where it's kind of you don't know who's going to pull away.
Slow. Yeah, over/unders opened at 47.5, closed at 46.5, went down
hit 47.
So I bet you a lot of people
after a 10-3 first half.
Right. Yeah, 10-3.
I had the first half under. I didn't take the full game.
A 0-0 first quarter, 10-3 first half.
But I mean, that was a crazy game.
I think Brock Purdy played really well too, and he's getting a lot of hate. But
he definitely didn't lose that game.
He didn't lose that game at all. They're talking about that throw that he missed. I think it was Ayuk in the end zone when he had Chris Jones literally on his nuts, and he expects him to just drop it in the pocket. Like these are throws that maybe even Pat Mahomes makes every other time. Like you're not going to ask.
Did you see the 49ers offensive lineman tweeting about He tweeted at some fan, like some fan tweeted like, goddamn, whatever, like just bitching about the play in overtime where Purdy got blown up by Chris Jones. And the 49ers offensive lineman tweeted, and he goes, yeah, but if the guy that's supposed to block him does his job, that play doesn't happen. And then that offensive lineman goes on Twitter and goes, tags him back and goes, damn, dude, I wake up to this. How's things been? Or like something like that.
That's so
And now,
funny.
obviously, it just shows like, I mean, they don't know the rules. They're all fighting each other on Twitter now.
They're going
Ayuk
through it.
saying, don't forget what got you there. I don't know. This
That
might be
was
the last of these 49ers that we've seen. They're basically, Mackie, everyone loves to cheer your Cowboys for losing in the playoffs. When are people going to make fun of the 49ers for losing in the NFC Championship and Super Bowl every time they've gotten there in our lifetime?
the only reason that they don't get chirped is because they get there, but they don't win. The last
nothing to
5
show
times they
for
made
it.
it to the last 5 times they've been to the playoffs, they've either lost in the conference championship game or the Super Bowl. And they
Yeah.
haven't won a Super Bowl since the year before the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl.
Yes, that's what I
So-
mean.
So, I mean, you guys can talk shit about the Cowboys all you want, but the Niners aren't any better. And they've had
Yeah.
better teams. This is probably the best team we've seen on paper, and I couldn't even tell you how long. With this roster up and down, maybe not even one weakness. And
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Quarterback, maybe, but not even. He played
Yeah.
He had a great year.
He played a great game.
But I don't know. I mean, the fact that this team couldn't find a way. I know you're playing the GOAT as well, baby GOAT, but I mean, that roster, Jesus Christ.
I think he's the GOAT now. I'll say that to piss Ace off.
Nah, not yet. Come on.
He's on pace. Ahead of
He's on
pace.
1,000% on pace. I think he'll get there, but you cannot say it yet. Here's a good question,
his
though.
playoff record,
If he
the fact that he has, go ahead.
if he retired right now, is he second best quarterback of all time?
I'd have to say so.
I think so.
Him and
I think so.
Montana would be the argument for two.
Yeah, obviously Montana and then Peyton right behind him, maybe. But
It's just it's truly the fact that Mahomes has more Super Bowls than Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, like Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, all the great quarterbacks that we've watched in our generation, and Mahomes has done it in 6 years as a starter.
6 years.
He's won the Super
And
Bowl
he's never-
basically every other year.
And he's never not even been to the AFC Championship game.
Literally, they have a
He's never
100%
not been
chance.
there.
They have a 100% success rate of making the AFC Championship with him, and a 50% chance of winning the Super Bowl since he's taken over.
Since he's been a starting quarterback.
Like that's
It's ridiculous
disgusting.
numbers. It's ridiculous numbers. And 2 of those losses are to Tom Brady. So realistically,
yeah.
if he didn't have to, could have 5 Super Bowls in 6 years. What would people be saying then?
If Brady would have retired after the Patriots and he didn't have to play that Bucs team,
He would
who
have
knows
4.
who knows who he would have played that year, but he'd have 4 in 6 years.
No, because that Chiefs team was sick, and the only reason they didn't win it is because Tampa Bay had a home Super Bowl, and it was Tom Brady.
Home Super Bowl. It was the first home
Yeah.
Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, but
That Tampa Bay team was also loaded. That was like the super
that
team. Of the
defense.
year, you know,
I mean, they gave up 9
Yeah.
points in the Super Bowl.
dude, that'd be crazy to think about. If he had 4 in 6 years, and Brady would only have 6 rings if he didn't get the one with Tampa Bay.
Right? Yeah.
So
Well,
everyone
I think
would be immediately spamming Mahomes as best quarterback ever, no question.
ever right now, he would
Right
be
now.
the best quarterback ever.
If that was number 4, dude, if he wins 4 next year and goes 3 straight,
No, you can't get it. You can't yet. Brady going to Tampa and winning a Super Bowl was single-handedly
Mahomes is
the
never gonna
best
leave
thing.
Kansas City.
It doesn't matter. I'm saying Tom Brady being able to leave Belichick, leave that dynasty, go down to Tampa, who hasn't done anything
Oh,
in
yeah.
20 years, and win a Super Bowl in his first year, did so much more for his legacy than any other move in NFL history. That made
So what,
him.
Brady's been to 10 Super Bowls, 7 he's 7-3 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he has 2 losses to Eli and a loss to Nick Foles.
And Mahomes is 3-1 in the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah.
All right.
And a
If
loss
he
to
gets
Tom
one, if
Brady.
he stays on this pace of winning one basically every other year, it's like you have to fucking think he's the best.
I think he would actually need to match Tom Brady's stats. To
As in yards and touchdowns?
as in at least Super Bowls.
Uh,
Because he's on pace to
He
get
already
to
has
reach
the 3
Super Bowl.
MVPs. Tom is only a 2-time MVP
No,
or 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
no,
He
has
didn't win
more
the
than 3
MVP any of
MVPs.
his early years with the Patriots. He won the MVP with the Bucs. Julian Edelman won a Super Bowl MVP. Rob Gronkowski won a Super Bowl MVP. Who won it like in 2000? Whenever they went back. They're the last team to go back to back.
Tom has 3.
Okay, so he
Peyton,
already has the same amount of Super Bowl MVPs as him.
right? Peyton Manning has the most at 5. But like you gotta
Peyton Manning has
think,
5 Super Bowl MVPs.
dude. He has 5 MVPs. Peyton Manning only has 1 Super Bowl, I think.
2.
Tom Brady has 5.
5 MVPs.
5 Super Bowl MVPs.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm talking Super Bowl MVPs. I was gonna say because Mahomes has what? How many true
He has 3.
MVPs did Brady have? Not Super Bowl, like
3.
regular season
3.
MVP.
3.
And he had 5 Super Bowl MVPs.
Yes.
And what's
Mahomes has
Mahomes have
2,
right now?
2
Regular
and 3.
season.
2
2 and 3.
regular, 3 finals.
Dude, this is
the
an
yards-
argument we're gonna be having for the next 5 years. Like
The yards,
he's gonna stay on pace.
Mahomes has like 24,000 passing yards. Brady has like 80,000.
Yeah, obviously the extra
Like when you
13
if you
and a
want
half
to
years, but
like if you want to go stat for stat, it's gonna take Mahomes a while. But I mean, he could be at 8 Super Bowls by the time he's at 50,000 yards.
literally
And then
I was
what do
gonna
you say?
say give me the 8 ring. You gotta
Right,
take the 8
right,
rings, like.
right,
But
right.
I
It's a
don't know.
pure
It's like
winner.
because it's also like Mahomes is gonna have to do it at a much quicker clip, like he already is doing, because like no one believed Brady was even gonna be able to play that long. Like, yeah, technology's only getting better. These guys are only gonna be able to play longer and longer with like what they put into their bodies, how much
Um,
money they spend on all that stuff. But like, you
and
can't expect a guy to play 20 years.
but like the Mahomes play style as well. Like it's not like he can play like that for at least another 10 years.
Absolutely.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. We've seen Brady excel with so many different Patriot teams that we need to see Mahomes excel with so many
I was gonna say
different.
Brady
He's
did it with
gonna
the
have to
early
excel.
Patriots, and then he got his new regime and won 3 more. We're gonna have to see what
You're
he does
gonna
after Kelsey retires, after all these
you're
guys
s-
leave.
you're seeing Kelsey with him right now is like seeing. It's not even like seeing Randy Moss with Tom Brady because Tom Brady had like 5 years before Randy Moss.
And he
But
never
it's
won with
like
Randy.
oh yeah, they had that undefeated season that they lost to the
Yeah.
Giants. But Travis Kelsey is like his Randy Moss. You're gonna have to see like a Gronk, like another generational player where Mahomes dominates with
Yeah.
for him to like
I
be
saw.
there.
I was
It's like
listening
you're
to.
gonna
I was listening to something the other day, and they were like, "Think about it like this: Patrick Mahomes is going to be so good for so long that someone that's in 8th grade right now is going to be catching his pass from Mahomes in the Super Bowl in like 6 years." I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably fucking right."
probably like 5th grade to be honest.
Yeah,
Like
literally, like they're in like 7th. They're in middle school right now, probably.
think about like LeBron. Like LeBron's older than some of his teammates. Or no,
Like double
LeBron's
their
been
age.
in
You're
the
saying.
what? No, LeBron's been
LeBron's like,
in the league for longer than some of his teammates have been born.
yeah.
Like these
I knew.
guys.
I knew what you were.
Yeah, I
You're
said
like,
he's
yeah.
older.
Did you know LeBron's not the youngest guy on the Lakers?
LeBron is older than some of his teammates. No, but these guys are like he was like on the Heat when these guys are like 7 years old. And now they're playing on the same team together. Like it's just insane the longevity of
Yeah.
these players. But you really want to see it out of Mahomes. Honestly, I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, and all the division titles, like that's exactly what Brady did. So it's just going to be interesting to see what he does. Like they're not even the favorite to win it next year. It's just the Niners again, like automatically. It's crazy.
So dumb. I think the Niners
Yeah,
gonna fall off.
me too. I think they're going to they already said like I saw Ayuk's or is he a free agent or they can franchise tag him? I don't really know what the
I think
situation
he's got
is there,
1
but
year left, but it's like
they think they're going to trade him instead of
yeah.
instead of giving him the money or whatever. I don't know what the deal is, or I didn't really look into it too much, but how funny would it be if the Chiefs just are like, yeah, we'll take Ayuk off your hands. Stay
Oh
here's a
my
first round
god,
pick.
dude. Oh my god, dude, Ayuk would go off with
Dude,
Pat
Mahomes would be like, go deep every play.
Yeah, it's exactly the type of player. Dude, it's like another Tyreek Hill.
Rasheed
Obviously
Rice would
not.
be like the little shifty, you know what I mean, short route guy. And then Kelsey really can just be a possession receiver.
Where do you think Chris Jones goes? You know he's not staying.
They said they think he's going to Houston.
Ooh. But Kansas City's gonna have to fill in that spot.
Yeah. I saw Chris Jones to Houston as his most likely landing spot. Him, Will Anderson, Grenard. They'll have what's the LSU cornerback? I'm blanking on his name. Who's the third? Derek Stingley, the cornerback.
Derek Stingley, yeah.
They're gonna have a legit defense in Houston if they get Chris Jones.
Yeah. And they obviously have that quarterback now
He
too. So
dude, he arguably could have been the Super Bowl MVP.
yeah, he played great. He had an awesome game.
He's so good. And just like they don't, I mean, they talk about him because he's the face of that defense, and that defense was so good this year. But like, I feel like you heard more about like Snead than the year that he was having. Like, he had another really good game in the Super Bowl, but like Chris Jones, no one talks about him as one of the best defensive linemen in the league when he's the best interior defensive lineman the past 2 years right now.
And he's shown it.
Like, he's passed up. I mean, Aaron Donald got old, but like it's now Chris Jones and then everyone else and the inside. But
Yeah, he's in a league of
Jesse,
his own.
get into this note about our Steelers, and then that should not much going on in the NFL. Basically, obviously, Super Bowl wrap up, and now we're gonna start getting into the rumors of who's signing where, who's getting traded where. So our first offseason rumor of the offseason here coming up. Jesse, let's hear it.
Yeah, for sure here. The Pittsburgh Steelers have stayed in the news the past few weeks here around the Super Bowl after signing offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. The Steelers are a minus 125 favorite on DraftKings to land Bears quarterback Justin Fields here in the offseason. Steelers released Mitch Trubisky, I can't say any of these names. I tried so hard this week. Okorafor and Presley Harvin on Monday to create over $14 million in cap space in those 3 roster moves. What do you guys think about Fields in Pittsburgh? How do you think he'll fare? Do you think he'll answer the offensive issues here that Pittsburgh's been dealing with here with Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and beyond? What are you thinking here, Huff?
Yeah, and obviously the other one that I don't think many people expected Mason Rudolph to be our starter going into next year, but his agent came out and said they're going to look for a new opportunity around the league. You just saw Mitch Trubisky get cut, so number 8's the only guy in the QB room for the Steelers basically right now, and they're going to go after. I mean, we're the favorite to land Fields. I'd absolutely love that situation. Bring him in a run heavy offense. You brought in an offensive coordinator that already said we're gonna run the ball a lot this year. We're going to build the offensive line. Use guys, the former first-round draft picks like Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, an undrafted player that had a breakout season last year. We have the weapons that if you get a young quarterback that's able to run the offense, if Pickett truly was able to do anything last year, I thought we had the team to, make a push for a wild card spot. We had the good record to start the year. I think we were 7-3 before the slip up. It wasn't. I mean, he wasn't the answer. He's not the answer, and you can kind of see Tomlin's already starting to look elsewhere. I do think Justin Fields is a great fit for the Steelers team. Come in. He hasn't had those kinds of weapons in Chicago. Yeah, he's had DJ Moore, but I mean, Khalil Herbert in the backfield. You get a true run game with a great offensive line that we're building here in Pittsburgh. I think Justin Fields would thrive. We're also plus 100 to land Russell Wilson, so you got to think it's one or the other, but definitely not out of the picture for my boy Russ to come out in the black and gold next season. But Mackie, what do you think? I definitely, for a career standpoint, give me Justin Fields, the younger player, the more electric at this point of their career. But what do you think? Would the Steelers be more kind of? I guess you'd say like would your expectations for the Steelers go up? How much if you get Justin Fields, if at all?
Yeah, they definitely go up for sure. I mean, he's an upgrade from Kenny Pickett. Um, but he hasn't shown me that he can win yet. I know he's played pretty good football, but he's been playing with the Bears. Who I mean, last year
Let me say this real quick, actually. Like for him being so sought after, kind of like what you just said, he hasn't really done anything for how sought after of a free agent or you know what I mean, a target he is. Everyone's saying he's the number 1 quarterback to land right now. It's more just
right,
because everyone thinks he hasn't had a good coach and he hasn't been coached right in the NFL. Everyone's kind of going like pointing the finger like, oh, I can fix that. I can fix that. I can bring the max potential out of that. And it's like,
right.
we haven't really seen that yet.
Listen, I think that this makes you guys a playoff team at least. I think that, I mean, what you guys have been able to do with who you've had at quarterback. I mean, winning seasons after winning seasons. This definitely brings a better chance to your offense. But it's just that type of player comes into this type of team. How well does that mesh? How well did Tomlin
How
and him
quickly does it
get
mesh? Yeah,
along?
like
What'd you say?
I said, how quickly do things like that mesh? Like, is it an
Yeah,
ugly first
exactly.
3 weeks while they're trying to get, and next thing you know, you're 0-3.
I think Tomlin's gonna try to do his thing with Fields. When at the end of the day, you just have to let Fields do him. Like he has to
And
play his type of.
Tomlin's a player's coach. I think it'll be more Arthur Smith that's trying to, if he wants to use his legs, that's Arthur Smith. That's what he wants to do, and that's why they brought him in. They wanted a running quarterback. They're kind of over the. Pickett's
Right.
supposed to be mobile. He doesn't move. He just takes the sack and kind of stands in the pocket, and that's what we want. Is our offensive line is good. It's not great. It's kind of that middle tier. Obviously, Steelers are looking to draft cornerback or offensive line in the first round this year. They were in the quarterback game. It looks like they're going to be going after one of these big name free agents or someone they can bring in. I'd love to see Justin Fields under center for the Steelers next year.
I think he's definitely our best option. I know you would obviously like to see your boy Russ in there, but also
That's more
he
just for
hasn't
a
shown it.
fandom. Like if
Exactly,
we don't get Fields and I get Russ, believe me, I'm not going to be disappointed. You know what I
And
mean?
what
Like,
happens if that doesn't work? And then you're searching for another quarterback next year when this is the year to get a quarterback in the draft. So if you're gonna go for anyone right now, you go for Fields. You go for somebody who can be there for 15 years. You could see Fields there for
yeah,
15 years. I know his play style doesn't agree with that, but Fields. I mean, he's
at
made
least
improvements year
8-10. Yeah,
in year. He's made improvements every single year. You know how I felt about him when he first came into the league. You know how much shit I talked about him. He's
yeah.
shown a lot of improvements. I like him a lot more. I think if you're trying to you got to get rid of that image of the worst offense in the league, and that's what the Steelers have right now. They've had it all year. They've probably had it for 3 years, having one of the best defenses in the league every year and not really being able to do much. But if you guys can build that offense and make it a fast-paced offense, make it like a
Like
I,
literally, I don't
want
want
to
to
say
say like the Titans in 2019, but like that's the style we're gonna run. I know we don't have Derrick
yeah,
Henry, we have
exactly.
Najee, but like just run the ball and the passing will open up. Like Justin Fields isn't a lights out pocket passer. Like if you work it's gonna be similar to what the Lions do. Run the ball,
I
run
like
the ball, run the ball, play action. Run the ball, play action. You know what I mean?
I
Like
like
it's gonna
that.
work pass into the run.
I like that comparison to the 2019 Titans because obviously they had Derrick Henry in the backfield. You guys are obviously going to be pretty run heavy with the dual threat you guys got back there. But I think this could be good for you guys. I think that Tomlin can really definitely work with this. Who knows? I mean, you guys may turn into a 11-win team, win the division, maybe even 12 wins. I mean, you have nothing to lose. You're not doing anything with the quarterbacks you got there right now.
Yeah, literally. I'm at that point. I'm like, dude, fuck it. We can't run this back like what we just saw last year. You can't run it back.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just another waste of a season, a waste of TJ Watt's best years.
Literally, you got to do something to get in the playoffs next year. And I, like you said, I think Justin Fields makes us a playoff team. Whether it's you win the division, I like to think that we would have won 2 more games last year if we had Justin Fields as our quarterback.
At least 2. At least. I mean,
Yeah,
you guys didn't have a good option at quarterback at all.
I mean, we started Mitch one game, we started Rudolph 3
Three
games to end the
quarterbacks.
year. Yeah,
You start. I mean, like you had no. Wait, you guys made the playoffs, didn't you?
no,
Why do I feel like you guys did? Who'd you guys play Week 18? Was that like almost a playoff game?
oh fuck, who did we? Yeah, I'm trying to think. No,
You
we
made the
didn't make the
playoff.
playoffs. Oh yeah, we did. Fuck, I'm blanking. We got
You
crushed by
lost to
the
the
Bills. That's why
Bills.
I'm
Yeah,
forgetting.
we
That's why
started
I'm
Mitch
forgetting.
Trubisky. You had Mitch Trubisky
Yep.
starting a playoff game. I mean, like
No,
you
it
guys
was Mason. Mason.
even worse. Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
you have Mason Rudolph starting a playoff game. So like even like you get to the playoffs now, you're still making the playoffs sick. You made the playoffs. You had 0 chance of getting anywhere.
Yeah.
You want to be a team that could be up there. You could be if you don't win the division, you could be a top wild card team that could actually make like go in and upset some teams. But you don't have that team right now. So maybe bringing in Justin Fields is the right thing.
I can't believe I just totally forgot we made the playoffs this year, but that's like because you said like we didn't even have a chance
I was
at it,
gonna
so I
say
didn't even count it as making the playoffs.
exactly. Yeah. See, like that's how you even look at it.
Yeah, but I definitely I don't know how soon this could be. I'd rather land him soon. So like you said, like younger quarterback, new system, get him in here as soon as
Get him
possible.
in there. Yep.
Do not wait until July to make this move.
Right. Definitely make it as soon as possible.
But yeah, that's about all I got in the NFL. It's gonna be what we're talking about for the next couple weeks or months, I should say. We're in the mode of free agency and trade rumors.
Yeah, for sure. The NFL season is finally complete here. Super Bowl 58 is complete. Lots to look forward to in the offseason for the NFL, but we got March Madness in the way. We got the NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. Lots to look forward to before we get back to our usual football manifest. Let's shift our focus over to the NBA here. Just some power rankings here this week. Starting off, number 5, the Minnesota Timberwolves, followed by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Number 3, the Los Angeles Clippers. Number 2, the Cleveland Cavaliers. And number 1, the Boston Celtics, ringing in our power rankings here for this week. What do you guys got to say about that here in the NBA? That's all we got in the NBA this week, actually.
I like this Minnesota team. A big win. They're on a little 3-game winning streak. A huge little road stretch they had. A big win in Milwaukee. A big win over the Clippers, and the Clippers were a heavy favorite. I mean, I definitely don't like them to go far, but I am starting to like this team and trust them a little more than I was perhaps possibly win a playoff series. But this Timberwolves team, they're so fun to watch. Anthony Edwards having a hell of a season. I think they're obviously a team to keep your eye on. The Oklahoma City Thunder, another one that we've had in that top 5 since they kind of went on their run to start the year. SGA still, up there as one of the best players in the league. Chet. I really like these two teams, these two younger teams in the West. Do I love them to bring home the ring this year? Probably not. That's why we got those top 5 teams, Aces, Celtics in there. The Clippers and the Cavs that have slid up, and that Cavaliers team has been playing, the hottest. They're the hottest team in basketball right now. Would they go 16-17 or some crazy over their last 17 games, Mackie?
Yeah, they just lost to the Sixers, but they were like 16 out of 17, something like that. Been playing great ball. Donovan Mitchell's been balling out. Um, yeah, they just they're sitting at 2 seed right now in that East. They in front of that Bucks team, but I don't know. We could see if they could keep it up. This team's been playing really good. What do you think of that?
Yeah, they're. I don't know. Do you think they can kind of make a run in this East?
No, no, I think they're going on a little flurry right here, but I don't think come playoff time they can get past the Bucks. I think the Knicks are better if we're being honest.
Yeah, I agree. I agree too. I just think the Cavs haven't had the easiest stretch of games. They've definitely picked up some wins. A struggling Sixers team they lost to last night. I thought that was one they would get a win. Beat Toronto, Brooklyn, Washington, Sacramento, San Antonio, and the Grizzlies. So I mean, their past 7 games have been pretty friendly to them as well.
Right, right. So they're winning games that they should, and a few extra on top of that. So playing really good basketball right now, but um, I don't know. It's gonna be some weird first round matchups going into the Eastern Conference with the way that it's kind of panning out.
I was going to say a
Gonna
lot
see.
of the play-in tournament right now, like the Warriors continue to slide in the West. Right
Warriors
now, the play-in tournament in the West is basically it would be Dallas versus Golden State, Sacramento versus LA.
Lakers and the Warriors both there. No, Warriors have been playing well. There, I think they've won like six in a row or something like that.
5 in a row, 5 in a row. You're right. You're right. They were sliding. They're
They're
on their
playing
way
very
back up.
bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, once Draymond came back, they kind of figured everything out. A few role players kind of found a bigger role in their system. I pay attention to the Warriors. Basically, the only NBA team I really pay attention to other than the Knicks. But yeah, but they've been playing good basketball. Tough one tonight against the Clippers. That Clippers team, though,
Um.
holy shit.
Yeah. I was gonna say I was blanking there. Yeah, I was looking at the matchups tonight, but yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this Clippers team all year. They finally hit their stride. Like I said, they had a tough loss 2 days ago on their home floor against Minnesota, but like you said, they're in Golden State tonight. Golden State's a 3.5 point favorite. Who's out for the Clippers?
It's back to back, isn't it? Oh
Yeah,
no, it's not.
like Kawhi's out.
There it is. Load management.
Yep. All right, Kawhi's out. I'll be avoiding that. I really only bet on the Clippers. Obviously, when he's playing, that's the
Yeah,
one
I mean
team you got to look at the in and outs with that team because there could be guys sitting out any given night.
I might look at Harden overs tonight.
I like the 20. I think he said it 20.5. I like that. I'd take that if you like that.
Want to do it? NBA play
Yeah, we could do it. Let me
prop.
see what he said at. Hold on, let me pull up
Oh,
the best
Michigan
plays see what I
State.
can find. Clippers. Oh, it's the 10 o'clock game. Player props. James Harden points. Harden over 20.5 minus 106 on FanDuel.
Hold on.
I would take that. What are you looking at? What do you got the last couple games? If he would have hit that prop,
Yeah, but it's with Kawhi's been out, so I'm not really looking at that per se. Mostly looking at the shots he's been taking.
or you mean Kawhi's been in, so this is a different game because
Kawhi's
Kawhi's
been
out. So
in, so this,
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
But yeah, let's take it. I actually really like it.
I'll do that. All right, yeah, we'll lock that in whenever we get off here. Let's get into the NHL, get this NBA play out there, and wrap up this week.
Yes, sir. Lots, a little bit here in the NHL with the Stadium Series this weekend, but a little power rankings get us going. Starting at number 5, we have the Dallas Stars. Number 4, the Florida Panthers. 3, the New York Rangers. 2, the Vancouver Canucks. And at number 1, the Boston Bruins holding that top spot there. Any thoughts on these power rankings coming into this week here, Mackie?
Yeah, Rangers are hot again. They definitely fell off. I was not respecting them for a little while there. But both goalies playing hot. Shesterkin coming off a shutout, Quick coming out of the All-Star break, 2 huge wins over one against Colorado and one against Tampa. He gave up 1 goal in both of them, so he's been sitting on his head. We need this goalie tandem to definitely take us through playoffs. But obviously the Bruins and the Canucks up top, they've been playing the best hockey out of everyone. Who else is in there? The Avalanche or the Panthers and the Stars.
Is that our other two? Yeah, that is the other two in there. That's the round
Panthers
out
are
the top
playing.
5.
Panthers are also playing really good hockey. Stars got a nice win over the Hurricanes last night. But yeah, all these top 5 teams playing really good hockey. I think these the yeah, I mean, I guess you could throw Avalanche in there, but these are the top 5 teams playing the best right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say your Rangers came out of the All-Star break hot, and now the Avalanche kind of slid a little bit to start out of the break.
Yeah, obviously the Oilers, since they went on that streak, are still pretty scary as well. But you got to respect these teams with the most points right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, your Rangers came out on a streak. That's why they are where they are. Obviously, Aces
5
Bruins
straight,
still up
baby.
there at the top, and Vancouver. They've just been the most consistent team. They're kind of like Minnesota in the NBA. We kind of didn't really expect that coming into the year, and you got to give credit where credit's due. They've been there all year.
Yeah, exactly. I love this Canucks team to start. It's the star power on. It's crazy. They had 5 All-Stars.
Well, I thought it was more than that. Wasn't it 7 or something like that, or was it 5?
It was Demko,
Besser,
Pedersen,
Demko,
Besser,
Pedersen,
JT Miller,
Quinn Hughes.
Quinn Hughes. I think that was it.
Oh, you might be right. All right,
I think it
5.
was the 5.
Yeah,
So
because I can't
crazy.
think of who we'd be forgetting. But yeah, all right. I mean, yeah, that's power rankings. Nothing too crazy. Pretty similar list to what we've had the past couple of weeks as we get towards the end of the NHL season. Obviously, football's over. Mackie said we're going to be diving into a lot more college basketball as well as the NBA, the NHL as their playoffs come right around the corner. The order of the calendar, we're going to get into March Madness first, and then right after that, the end of the hockey season and NBA season. So lots of good stuff coming. March is my favorite month of sports for gambling. I know there is no NFL involved, but great month of sports. You got everything going on. So can't wait to get into all that. But Jesse, we got a couple of outdoor games this weekend involving Mackey's Rangers. On one of them, if we want to get into that before we wrap things up.
Yeah, Mac, you have any thoughts on that? Sunday, Rangers and Islanders at 3 p.m. Flyers and Devils on Saturday, 8 p.m. will be the first time that they'll use the same stadium back-to-back nights for outdoor games.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm going to the
Are
game.
you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, looking
That's
forward to
freaking
it.
awesome.
So
Where's
I'll
it
be
at? Where's it at?
it's at MetLife, which is actually the shittiest location ever. There's
Yeah,
no
that's gonna be
transportation out
interesting.
there. You gotta fucking drive. It's an hour and 20 minutes away and it smells like shit out there. Never go to MetLife. But yeah, I'm gonna go. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna get trashed and I'll definitely take some videos, post on the social media a little. But yeah, I'm looking
Please.
forward to it. Those jerseys are sick, the Rangers ones.
The Rangers ones are sick. Who do they play? They play the Devil.
Isles.
You guys got the. Oh, you guys play the Isles.
Yeah.
Oh, Flyers and Devils play. Okay.
Mhm.
I also did like those Flyers jerseys. The Devils were the black and red was a little interesting. Those Islanders
Flyers were
jerseys are
sick.
brutal.
Flyers were sick. Devils were okay. The Isles were gross. Yeah.
Yeah, it literally went Rangers 1, Flyers 2, Devils. Then the Islanders
Devils
were
and then the Isles.
10 steps below everyone else.
I wonder who's
Doesn't
gonna
it?
play that
Doesn't it
game.
just say Isles?
It looks. I gotta go find it again because it's so gross. I gotta see how bad it was.
It looks like
But
an Edmonton Oilers jersey because they just did the blue and orange, like the dark blue and orange. Like I know the Islanders are blue and orange, but like they did the dark blue and orange that like the Oilers wear like every night. Are you pulling it up?
I'm trying to.
I think it
Wish I
just.
got
I
it.
swear it just says Isles in like Times New Roman font across the chest. Like they
That's
put
rough.
next to no effort into that jersey.
I'm on the Islanders. Okay, they're not even fucking posting it because it's so ugly.
They took it off the team store.
Oh yeah. Okay, it's on my iPad. Oh
That is
Yeah, that's
rough.
brutal.
yeah, it looks like an Oilers jersey. What the fuck are they doing, man?
Looks like an
Like you
Oilers,
could,
or it could be like a.
They
you
had
could
to go
literally.
dark though because the Rangers were white, but like, do like
They should have
orange.
done
Like
the
do
royal blue.
Oh, yeah, or the
Yeah,
royal.
yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Like, why'd they change their blue?
I don't know. It's gross though.
That's
And
why I
they
said
should
they look like an Oilers jersey. But the other game, you said what? Flyers, Devils. That Sunday? So Mackie, your
no,
game's
it's Saturday.
Rangers is.
I'm going Sunday.
Oh,
That
okay,
game's
okay, it's the other
Saturday.
way around.
The ice is gonna be shit for our game.
Yeah,
It's
But
gonna be
I'm
cold though, isn't
surprised.
it?
I'm surprised they
I
don't
think
do
it's
a.
just like 30s.
That's not bad then. They'll be able to
Yeah.
regulate it.
I'm surprised they don't do a Friday and then a Sunday game, so they can have a day to
You know,
fix everything.
give the ice some time to like
Yeah,
settle and shit. Not
Yeah,
like
to
gonna
heal.
cut the fuck up and then it's
like
gonna get cut up again.
Friday night at 8, and then
Oh,
Sunday at 1
wait,
o'clock.
I
You know
didn't
what I
think
mean?
about that. When are the teams gonna do their like warm up skates and all that stuff? Like they each get the ice for a couple hours. Is that
They
all
do,
on
yeah.
Saturday?
They just won't do it at MetLife. They'll probably just do it at home.
Well, it's usually like each team gets time on the ice. Is
On
the
the
gimmick.
ice.
It's a media thing more than anything. You know what I mean? But like,
It's also
I
so they
don't
can
know.
get a feel for the ice outdoors.
yeah,
It's
that
different.
right, that too. You know what I mean? But it's like that's an interesting one. Like, are they gonna have to all do it on Saturday in the morning?
Well, maybe that's why the game's not till 3 on Sunday, so they can probably skate at 8:30 in the
A little
morning
bit
if
of
they want
time.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one of them can skate at 9, one of them can
true.
skate at
I guess it is 3 p.m.,
10:30.
not like 1 p.m.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what I said. I said I thought it should have been Friday night and then Sunday,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Give
then
them a
they have
day,
all
yeah.
day Saturday. Yeah,
Interesting.
to test the
Yeah.
ice, and then like Mackie
It'll
said,
be
you can
fun.
do you can do a morning skate at a freaking local rink for all. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Right.
it's not like
Right.
it's not like the 49ers bitching about their field conditions. Like it's
Yeah.
ice is ice.
Right. Well, have fun, Mackie. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah, I
forward
didn't know
to
you
it.
were going
Sure.
to that. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I
thought for
think
sure
that's all
that'd
we
be at
got
like
here.
Yankee Stadium, but don't they always do that?
They did it at Citi Field last time, which I would
That's
love.
cool.
Actually, it's kind of shitty transportation as well.
You'd
Yankee
probably rather
Stadium is
Yankee
ideal.
Stadium. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Just take the train down there.
yeah,
That's cool. That'd be really cool.
But
yeah. Well,
yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Jesse from Hit the Books here. I want to tell you a little bit about Zencastr. We use Zencastr because it's the best solution for us to record our episodes each week with 4 of us in different locations. Coordination is hard, and Zencastr makes that easy. Like I said, it's so easy. It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Just log in with your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Zencastr is an all-in-one platform. If you've thought about podcasting before and realized that you need a lot of different tools and services, those days are over. Zencastr is all-in-one podcasting platform. You can create a podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other major destinations. If you're interested, go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code HITTHEBOOKS, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same experience, easy experience we do with all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Make sure to use our link in the description below or our offer code HITTHEBOOKS at zencastr.com/pricing for 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. This week, we have a special guest with us. He's gracious enough to come onto our show, talk to us about the upcoming March Madness tournament here in the college basketball world, touch on what he's been up to since we heard from him last. Ryan Hammer is here. Ryan, what do you got for us, buddy? Nice to see you here. What's up?
What's up, guys? It's been a minute, yeah.
For sure, for sure.
yeah. Obviously, reoccurring guest now. We had you on once or twice last year. I can't remember if we got the second time in. Getting you back, like we said, February college basketball season's coming down to the nitty gritty as we lead up to Selection Sunday coming up in a few weeks, and then obviously once March Madness gets underway, I think it's the 21st, the official tournament starts. So we're just around a month away. Wanted to ask you a couple questions. Obviously, big fan of your content, everything that you put out there on a weekly basis on your social media. I don't know if you want to plug that stuff real quick or at the end where everyone can find the content that you're posting on a day-to-day basis.
No, I appreciate it. No, search my name, Ryan Hammer. I feel like people should be able to find it. So no worries.
Yeah.
Let's crack on.
Abs-
And I don't want to take time away.
Absolutely, yeah. So obviously, in the past couple of weeks, I saw you've gotten the chance to visit some of the top schools in the nation. UNC, excuse me, Wisconsin. Hang out with guys like Baycott and Chucky Hepburn. That's obviously a pretty interesting opportunity. How do those things come into line? Do you have connections with these players? Is it the school that's inviting you up there? And kind of what did you learn about these guys while you're up there?
Yeah, first of all, like, they're great dudes, and, like, a lot that's the case for a lot of people, and I wouldn't go somewhere and try to, like, link with guys and give them a better platform if they weren't not to say they're not deserving of it, but they definitely are, is the point.
Yeah.
I basically did it all myself. There's a lot that goes in behind it of funding it and stuff like that, but I have been connected with guys like Armando I've been connected with on social media and talked to for probably a couple of years at this point. So in the summer, I was like, I'm coming down to Chapel Hill this year and we're gonna make it happen. He was like, sure. And then the idea kind of stemmed from just going around to different campuses and stuff like that. I'm not trying to stretch myself too thin, and it's tough to travel and stuff when teams are traveling a lot in the beginning of the season and going to, like, Maui and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a lot that goes into the back end and stuff and planning and all. But it's a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. That's pretty sick, Mackie. Go ahead.
those experiences are pretty cool, especially with those type of players who kind of light up college basketball. But coming into the tournament, we have a few weeks till the tournament. What type of teams do you think you could see raising that banner in March or in April, I guess?
Yeah, I do a lot of the statistical BS, some not
Right.
BS, it's definitely not BS, I'm not trying to say that, that,
Absolutely
like,
not
breaks down.
BS.
Yeah, exactly, and it's always
Great
right,
stuff.
but I still, like, I go with gut feeling all the time, like, I always sometimes I go against that stuff, just like, I think it was 2
Yeah.
years ago after Baylor's title, I went with them again, I was like, "I don't really care that they don't fit whatever this or that."
Yeah, I was
My
gonna say,
gut
do you, like, strictly
Yeah.
follow those models? Because they seem to, like, be pretty accurate and everything, but you ever
They're
just let your opinions get in the way or anything?
Oh, way too often. Last year, I literally spoke about UConn all the time, and I was like, "You know what? Fuck it, like, I'm going elsewhere." I think I took Texas last year, who also fit the rule. I'm starting to use my analysis and stats more and more. I try to tell people, like, don't use them blindly. Don't, like, be like, "This guy says these stats say this team should win." I
Yeah.
use them as, like, evidence and backup. If I say, "Hey, like, I love UConn. They also fit X, Y, and Z." Great, I'm
Right, right.
confident, got my sign off. But back to the original question, like, UConn and Purdue for sure ahead of the game right now. If I had to make a bracket today in a vacuum, you have to go with one of them. Like, there's no way you get around that, especially because both of them are so good. Usually there's, like, one team dominating like that right now, but between both of them, Houston, Carolina, those 4 for me, I would consider picking if I had to make a bracket right now. I'm not convinced on a national title run for Tennessee or Arizona. Maybe Marquette has been playing so well right now. Everyone else, I am to be convinced.
Right, yeah, I saw
Yeah.
your model on how Zach Edey has just improved year in and year out, and I know they were a first round exit last year, but that team is I think that they could be built for a championship, and with a guy like that, they can always take you that far, so, I'm excited to see Purdue in that tournament aspect.
Yeah, little revenge, like, everyone wants to call, like, the UVA
I was
2.0
gonna
revenge
say,
tour, and,
yeah.
like, I mean, they're 1 for 1, like, losing to a 16 seed, they're 1 for 1 winning a national title the next
Right,
year,
right.
so who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna say
So
that too.
out of those top 4 teams that you said, like you said North Carolina, you said Houston, Purdue, and UConn, which of those teams would you say you like to absolutely not go the furthest? Like, what if you had to eliminate one of those teams right off the bat, weaknesses or strengths aside, which team would you say isn't going to get it done out of those 4?
It would have to be Carolina because of the recent inconsistencies and more. I think it more speaks to the other 3. Where, like, Houston, I don't care what the bracket is. There's no chance in hell that they're not playing the second weekend. They're way too good against lesser opponents. Like, teams like, I think UConn has lost a quad 2 or quad 3 game or something like that. Kansas has lost some pretty bad games, and so has Carolina, like they did at Syracuse and stuff. And Houston doesn't lose those games. If they play anyone that's not remotely close to them, they are whooping them by 30 every single time. So they're gonna take down a 16 seed, and then the 8s or 9s, unless they get, like, an anomaly of an 8 or 9, they should be fine. And at Carolina just isn't up to the level of Purdue and UConn right now. So
Yeah, and Houston's in the Big 12, which I think is probably the toughest conference in college basketball,
for
so
sure,
they get that competition every single game.
yeah.
But, yeah, so we've seen in the past, we've seen some lower seeds like, St. Peter's and Fairleigh Dickinson, obviously, make these Cinderella runs. Do you think, do you see any of these mid-major teams that could possibly be one of those teams this year?
Yeah, every year there's always some teams. I feel like this year, like last year, I loved, like, almost every team from 11 or 12 line through, like, 14 and some 15s. Um, I don't feel the exact same this year. There definitely are Indiana State, if they get into the tournament, now they're kinda screwing themselves over, but everyone's gonna love them.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Mhm.
play they shoot a lot. They have a crazy nice 5 spread out offense, NBA style. They have Robbie Avila, who with the
Mhm.
specs, and everyone loves his game like little Jokic, and I get that. I love them also. Big fan of their program, what they got going on. But they're matchup dependent. They play offense. They play offense. They shoot. They shoot. They shoot. If they play against a team like off the top of my head, I can't think of one. Like Oklahoma defends the three really well. Virginia is a miserable
Oh, yeah.
defense to play against. Where if they had a matchup first round against one of those teams, I'm like, shit. Like I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of this. It's kind of like Charleston last year. Everyone was like Charleston all year. They're hot. They're hot. I think Indiana State's a little better, and the metrics will support that. But Indiana State's going to be the hot pick if they're in the tournament this year. I like GCU. I think they're better all around. They're more balanced. They can shoot. They can defend. They can play on both sides of the ball. They have NBA level guys and athleticism, and they don't really get as enough attention as Indiana State, even though they're like 22, 23, and 2 and on absolute fire right now. I think Yale or Princeton, whoever comes out of the Ivy, if it's one of them, could be really good. And I think Gonzaga is one of those teams this year if they get into the tournament because they're a small school. They're not a mid-major, but this year they might fit that bill if they're like a 10 or 11 seed, and they could be dangerous. So
Yeah, definitely. I always gotta watch out for Gonzaga, even on their off years.
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Oh, is my mic on? Yes, it is. All right. Yeah, so basically next kind of thing we wanted to get into, a couple games that we have this weekend, one in mind, UConn Marquette, a top 5 matchup head to head this Saturday, 3 o'clock up in UConn. Do you like the Huskies to handle business on their home floor? I know you said you're big on UConn this year. You just said Marquette's playing some really hot basketball. Who do you like in this matchup this Saturday?
Yeah, it's tough. I tried to find something this whole week that Marquette could how they're gonna win the game. I'm really worried that Marquette's gonna get smashed on their boards on both ends of the floor. Like Oso is nice. They're not super big outside of that. Klingon fully healthy and like especially at home or UConn does an even better job at rebounding, especially on the offensive glass. They're gonna get so many easy second chances and second chance points and stuff where that's where I'm worried for Marquette. But everything else they're pretty even in for the most part. What one team does well, the other team does well. They both don't play too fast or too slow. So I don't see it getting out of hand either way. There's no way UConn loses by a lot, obviously, if they even lose. If I had to make a pick, I'd go UConn, but that's a tough one.
Yeah, a player like Tyra Kolak, who just had 27 against Butler, is gonna have to have another massive game going into UConn. I mean, coming off a hot game, you could see it, but you're asking a lot from a guy like him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's ice cold though. Like they're last night against Butler, I like that's a tough place to play, and Butler's a pretty decent team right now. Like they're a tournament level team, and that man just does not care how loud it is. He doesn't care what's going on. If people are barking at him, whatever is happening, like he is just ice cold. He'll talk to people, he'll talk to the crowd, he'll talk to other players. Like he's wild, that guy.
He's a dog. He's got it in
Yeah,
him.
literally. He literally is.
Yeah, so kind of stemming off that, you kind of said a couple of teams that had your eyes on coming into this year. What would you say were a couple of teams that either exceeded your expectations and maybe one that kind of didn't live up to what you thought they were going to do this year?
What do you think of Michigan State?
They,
Off
I
that
mean,
question.
they definitely didn't live up to expectations. They just like people say like, oh, like FAU also don't go off of one tourney run. They're going to be good next year. Like Michigan State was good last year. They weren't just a tourney run. They were a really good 7 seed that had the quality of a 3, 4, or 5. That was pretty evident. Like I picked them to go to the Sweet 16. I think Elite 8. Like a lot of other people did. Like that was pretty clear they were good. So it wasn't just like a tournament run. And then all of a sudden everyone's like reacting off of that. FAU, I kind of get that. It's a different story. But Michigan State this year, like their offense is stagnant. I saw them live when I went to Wisconsin. Like they have no motion on offense, no off ball movement. Izzo refuses to change things up when he needs to, and he hates analytics and numbers and stuff. And like those things are pretty helpful, Tom. But I don't know. I think they're good. I still think they can win a few games in the tournament. There's just no way it happens without what they're up to right now. Like they have shown no consistency at a high level, like 0 all year. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other team I wanted to ask you about, you said obviously you were up in Wisconsin this year. I'm big on this Badgers team. That's a team I've kind of followed. Me and Mac here, West Virginia alum. Jesse's a Penn State guy, but I've always been attracted to Wisconsin's basketball program. And this year specifically, they kind of had that little 3-game skid. They had the 15-point lead in Nebraska. Lets Nebraska come back and get that win in overtime. They had a little bit of a skid there. I saw you had them projected right around a 5 seed. Is that a team that you could see go far, or do you think that's a team that kind of slipped up and showed their real colors?
they definitely could. I don't think it was real. It was like completely real colors. I think a lot of teams go through rough patches. Like UConn last year was like a top 3 team in the country in the out of conference. They started playing Big East ball and they fell off into a 4 seed, but the quality was always there and it was pretty obvious that they could still win a national title. I don't think Wisconsin's a national title team, but I think they're still very much capable with the right matchups to win 2, 3, 4 games in the tournament. Their offense is better than it usually is. Usually they're so defensive minded and they just like gritty and miserable to play against. It's still not fun, but their defense isn't as good. But they got a guy like AJ Storr on offense, which I think is a complete difference maker. They haven't had like that NBA level athlete on the wing. Like Johnny Davis was a great scorer, but AJ Storr complements their offense much better with what they have, I think. So they could, I think it's a balance. I think teams go through rough patches. Theirs was extra rough. But I still think they
It was
could
a
be
tough
good.
road
And
skid too. Yeah.
yeah, like it kind of is what it is. And they won last night. Like they get past it, and hopefully they're going to be fine now. But they should be okay. I realized I didn't answer the question before. My bad. Maryland. I'm a Maryland fan. Wearing my shirt. Maryland, terrible. I don't want to talk about it. They didn't exceed expectations. Anything close. Arkansas, USC for sure, and Gonzaga also because they always have high expectations. But exceeded expectations. South Carolina for sure. They're still exceeding my expectations. People think I hate South Carolina. I don't. I just don't. I don't think they're a top 10 team in the country. I don't think they're that quality. I think they're very good and they could still make a run in March and beat some teams, clearly. I just have like some caution, I guess. I didn't think BYU would be this good this early in the Big 12, and I didn't think Dayton would be this good this year. I knew they were going to be really like the A10 leader, but they have been unbelievable this year. So
Yeah, another team that I kind of had some expectations to coming into this year was Pitt. I thought that, getting all those returners, they just had a nice win in Virginia the other night. Is that a team that you could see make a run? They kind of disappointed me throughout the year. A lot of the games where I thought that they were going to win, they'd be at home, give up the home court advantage and lose a tough one at home to, I believe it was Missouri early on in the season, just to start the out of conference games. I mean, in the ACC, they've been okay, but I just kind of was curious, what was your expectation for Pitt kind of coming into this year?
yeah, I expect them to be a tournament team, like you said, with the experience they return, especially with Bub Carrington playing so well from day one. Like I was like, wow, this could be a dangerous team if they got a freshman that's this good. Also, they just have their size hasn't been great either. Then their consistency, like you said, and their metrics don't rank well with a lot of the ACC losses they have, so they're struggling to get into the tournament. But last night was massive for them. It's going to put them in a decent position at least to be in position. I guess we'll call it position to
Yeah.
be in position. Um, they could win a couple games. Again, another team that I think when you look for teams like that are power teams that are going to be anywhere from like 7 through 12, they need to show some kind of consistency, even if it's not all year. Like you need to have like Wisconsin's a good example. If they fall to a 6 or 7, which they probably won't, like that they had spurts in the year where like they showed you how good they could be in 5 games in a row, 6 games in a row, and that's what the tournament is. If you can't do that 2 or 3 games in a row, then you're going to be washed out first weekend. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like that. So, yeah, last year you were in Houston for the Final Four, right? Last year,
I was, yeah.
you got anything planned this year? March Madness? Are you going to be in where is it? Arizona this year?
It's in Phoenix, yeah. TBD on Phoenix. That shit is it's real expensive to get out there. I'm working on like the funding and stuff, but
nuts.
it might not be worth it. We'll see. I'm not really sure. I am going to Baylor next week, which will be fun, and then I might go. There's some schools nearby. Like I might go back to Princeton for another game. I might go to Maryland because I'm a Maryland fan. I'm trying to go to Dayton also and Indiana State, but there's not a lot of time left in the season. So other than that,
No,
I'll
yeah.
probably head up to the Big East tournament because I'm in New Jersey. It's right here.
Big East tournament's fun. I've been to that
Yeah,
before.
it's live. Yeah,
Who's that Baylor game against?
it's Houston at Baylor. It'll be a good
that's
one.
awesome.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
Awesome game.
It'll be nice. I
That's
didn't even
the best.
realize like that one of the guys I was talking to come down. I was gonna go for the Texas game. They play on like Monday, March 4th. I think I had that date right. Because there's no other games on, so I like going to places when there's nothing else happening. I don't have to worry about what's going on outside the arena.
Right.
But he was like, "Oh, like that senior day, like come to the Houston game." And I was like, "Okay, if you say so." Like I guess so.
Awesome.
Yeah,
It's gonna be electric.
So that'll be cool. Yeah.
Yes, Mackie, you got anything else? I'm kind of stuck.
No. Yeah, we just appreciate you coming on. You answered a lot of questions, gave us a lot of intel and everything. But thanks for coming on, Ryan.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm always happy to link with y'all.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we
Huff
might.
and I are in Pittsburgh. If you ever find yourself in Pittsburgh, give us a ring.
I was there. I was there for Jets Steelers last year, but
Ooh.
I don't
Watched our
know
Steelers lose.
I don't know
We'll have to get to a
why
game
I've
this
come
year.
back. I gotta figure out maybe the Jets play there again next year or something because they line up. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll have to figure it out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, if we can get you on again, maybe before the tournament, the week of the tournament, something we can work out, even a quick little segment just to give you some, get some official picks locked in for what you're liking, kind of help the people build their brackets, kind of things. You're
Yeah.
definitely our most knowledgeable guy in the college basketball world. Me and Mackie, big college basketball gamblers, but you kind of bring that statistical and analytics background that kind of just like woes me away. I'm like, hey, I like it because when it supports what I
Tough 'cause
like, I love it. Yeah, literally. I
when it
watch your
doesn't
videos and I'm like, where do you find this stuff?
Yeah, it blows my mind, man. I'm like,
but
holy
when
shit.
when it doesn't fit what you want, you're like, "Ah, shit, like I gotta change
Yeah, I'm like,
everything."
this
Now,
guy
Right,
doesn't know what he's
right.
talking about.
I
Yeah.
do it all the time. Like there are some times when I want to put stats out and graphs and like talk about certain just anything, and I don't dislike certain teams. People think that I don't like South Carolina, Providence, UConn, BYU. Those fans think I hate their teams. I do not give a rat's ass. Like I do not care at all. Like I don't care if they're good or bad. That's for 99% of the country. There are teams who because I like their team and I think they're going to be good teams in March. If it doesn't support them and it really like discredits them, I'm like, like should I really put this out there? But I know that I have to, so I do it, no choice. But whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. Yeah, if we can definitely get you back on, maybe closer to the tournament, during the tournament, whatever works for your availability, we'll reach out and work something out. We really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no doubt. Just let me know and we'll try to figure it out. All right.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks again,
Thank you.
Ryan.
Have a good time
Sweet.
out in
See
Baylor
y'all.
next week.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one. All right.
That's
All
about all
right.
I got. We got Seton Hall on the card about to start right now, so I'm gonna go watch that, and that's
Yes,
about it.
sir.
All right. Good
All right,
stuff.
well, yeah, we'll see you guys. Jesse, Saturday live stream this week. So switching over from the Sunday to the Saturday live stream. Saturday, 10 a.m.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah, we'll
We'll
just
talk
stay
about
tuned
it.
on our social media. We'll figure it out. We'll get something posted out there for the official time and day. So we'll get you guys the news that you're looking for. But other than that, thanks for listening. I say it every week. We appreciate it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Make sure you go check out Ryan Hammer on social media. I believe the official handle is Ryan Hammer 9 is his Instagram. So make sure you give him a follow. He's in the world of college basketball, he's definitely one of the best guys out there. So love having him on. Big shout out to him. Reoccurring guest now. Definitely going to get him back on before the tournament. Other than that, like I said, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.